Hello everyone, welcome to Echo-Based Gaming. Happy release day all.
Yeah.
It's a long anticipated day. Almost a year since we knew that this game was coming. So yeah, really hyped.
It's finally here.
It's finally here, yeah. This video will be a bit different than our previous videos because, well, all cards have been revealed already. So there are no cards to discuss anymore.
No.
Also, the weekly promos have been all revealed in the live about the weekly play.
Correct.
So
we now know all the cards that are in set 1.
Exactly. When everyone gets their booster boxes, I hope everyone gets nice pools.
Yeah.
So in this video we're going to talk about the pre-release that we attended last week, and we will attend one more later today. So really excited for that. So what are your thoughts about the pre-releases?
Yeah, so last weekend we attended 2 pre-releases actually. So the first one was on Friday, the 1st. And it was the first time that we went to the store in Belgium. And it was a really nice store to begin with. A friendly owner and also a nice play group. It definitely brought me back to the Star Wars Destiny days with the friendly locals and the welcoming community. So that was really nice. So that was our first pre-release, our first experience with the real cards. Before this we only played with the demo deck at Spiel. And but now to see the cards in real life, they look amazing.
I agree.
The quality is really good. The foiling is really nice. The art just pops IRL. And now when I saw the cards with my own eyes, I understand that everyone was talking about that the foiling or the cards in general, they are 100 times better in real life. And now, I experienced that for the first time.
I must say that I was a fan of the art anyways.
True.
But as you say, in real life, it looks even better.
Yeah, it just looks better.
Okay, so, and what about the event itself?
So it was, I don't know if it was sold out, but there were actually a lot of people for a pre-release. We attended a lot of pre-releases for other games. And I think this was by far the most attended pre-release that we've been to.
I think also the owners of the stores didn't expect this amount of people actually.
True. So the atmosphere was really casual. It was really nice. A lot of new players. Not only new players to Star Wars Unlimited, but just in general new card game players. So a lot of teaching and helping others with building their deck. But it was a really nice, just chill, casual atmosphere, and everybody was really friendly. So pre-release, you have to build your own deck, of course, a sealed format. I went with Hera, not because I think that she was per se my strongest choice of my pool, but just I really wanted to play with Hera. And I pulled 3 Zaps and a Ghost and 2 Choppers. So I think
quite some Spectres.
My Spectre pool was big enough to run it. Unfortunately, no Sabine or Kanan. But I think it was big enough to go for the Hera choice. And so the Hera / Rebels, with K2SO, which works amazing with Hera. So that was my choice of my deck.
And you did quite well.
2-1. So that was really nice. I didn't expect that. But a nice experience. So I will talk about some strategies a little later. But first, what was your pick?
I went for Jyn Erso, aggression, and mainly focused around the Rebel Troopers. So a lot of small units, ground units and space units that buff each other. And synergize around the Rebel Trooper trait. And it functioned like it should. It worked really well.
I think Jyn Erso is a really powerful sealed leader.
I agree. And actually I went undefeated. So we played 3 rounds, so I went 3-0. Great experience.
Nice. Okay, so what were some combinations that you put into the deck that made it function so well? Or what was the MVP?
I think in general the Rebel Fleet Lieutenant was really strong in turn 2. When in turn 1 you've played a low cost unit like, for instance, an A-Wing.
That would be ideal,
Yeah, Then on turn 2, that A-Wing can attack for 5, which is a really strong combo, and puts a lot of pressure on your opponent.
Yeah.
So, and it's a little action cheating because you play him and immediately can attack. So, yeah, I think that's a very strong unit in my deck.
Yeah. Yeah, it puts you ahead, and that's exactly what you want as an aggression deck.
Yeah.
So you want to always be a step further than your opponent.
Yeah. And a 3/3 for 3 cost is still decent.
Yeah. Yeah, true. So for me, it was the Hera Ghost combo. So I was pleasantly surprised with this combo. And of course, they work with each other on purpose, but on paper, but also to see them in action in a game made it feel really powerful. Because with the Ghost and Hera, you can buff your other Spectre units and make them real threats on the board.
Yeah.
So for instance, your Zep can become a 7/7 unit on the ground with 2 or more shields.
Yeah.
So it becomes really hard for your opponent to deal with such units, or even Chopper. You can buff Chopper and give him shields, and with his on-attack ability, it's just really annoying for your opponent to deal with. And I think actually Chopper single-handedly won me a game.
Okay.
Because with his on-attack ability, and so your opponent has to discard 1 card of their deck, and if in its event they have to exhaust a resource. And when it hits and your opponent has to exhaust a resource, they were no longer able to play the cards that they want, so they couldn't do anything else for that turn, and that really put me ahead in the race.
Okay.
So that was really nice to see. Of course, it's a little bit luck, because it is a discard, so it's not a guarantee. But if it was a guaranteed, it was way too powerful.
Yeah.
But when you hit the event, it's an amazing 1-cost ground unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was nice to see that the Spectres work, and they work really well together.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned earlier, also K2SO. So Hera can buff other unique characters, and K2SO is, I think, really powerful.
Yeah.
So a nice deck at the end.
Yeah. You can only imagine if you have a full deck
Spectre.
with Spectres, how well it works.
Yeah, or other cards that buff them, or give them even more shields.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah.
All right.
So on this pre-release, we also got our tokens from GameGenic.
Yeah.
So they came in early, and we pre-ordered them at this store.
Yeah.
So the store owner decided to just give everyone what they pre-ordered, and so we actually immediately could play with these.
Yeah.
Which felt really nice. Just really clear and good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will do a further review later in a GameGenic review video.
Yeah.
But I do want to say now that I think that you need 2.
Yeah.
2 of these packs for,
I agree.
especially when you have a game, or especially when you have a deck that puts out a lot of experience tokens, like the Spectre deck.
Yeah. Or shields.
Or shields. I think there are just a little bit too few in just one set. Especially with Metal Ceremony and cards like that, where you can play 3 experience tokens.
Yeah.
It just comes a little short. Yeah.
I agree.
So that's my first assessment of this pack. Great quality, but I think that you need to buy 2 of these for if your deck plays a lot of experience tokens and shields, of course.
Yeah.
So the second pre-release that we went to on Sunday, which was again also a first for us in this store. So again, really friendly community.
Yeah.
Also a really friendly store owner.
Yeah. Again, people who are new to trading cards in general, veteran players, but are
Other games.
Other games, indeed. So yeah, and everyone was again really friendly and welcoming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't have that great of a pool. I was kind of forced into going with Krennic, who previously I didn't give that much thought. I underestimated him. It's clear now. But again, the deck wasn't complete. I didn't have any Death Troopers, but I had a lot of Vigilance Villainy cards. So I had a somewhat functioning deck.
Okay. Yeah, so I went with Chewbacca. So Chewbacca Cunning. And just the same as you, my card pool wasn't that strong to build a deck. It was actually really spread out between all the aspect combinations. So from everything I had just a little bit. So for me it was hard to just build a 30 card deck. but I think that my Chewbacca pool was the strongest of all. And especially in combination with Cunning, I could actually build quite a decent deck. Maybe a little bit more events than I wanted in the first place, but yeah, like I said, I was forced to just play those cards. And I mean, they are great events, so don't so Waylays, for instance. So I was happy to include them in my deck. I wanted a little bit more space units, but I just didn't have them.
Yeah.
So I actually also did quite decent, again 2-1. So I lost a round against Boba Fett, so an aggro Boba deck, which also played Wolf, which was really strong against me, because I couldn't heal my base. I played a lot of restore units, and yeah, it was just too fast for me to deal with, and especially with the No Good To Me Dead. He locked my Chewbacca 2 games, and I just couldn't do anything with him, and so that's a really strong card, I think. No Good To Me Dead. So if you play Cunning Villainy, definitely include that in your deck, because I think against Chewie it's not even that strong, because he still gets the Sentinel. But against cards like Vader or Luke Leader or the Luke and Vader units, or just a strong Star Destroyer, yeah, it's just really, really powerful.
Yeah. So I also did quite well with my deck. I went 2-1 as well.
Okay.
And where in the first pre-release my deck went wide, this time I went tall. So I played a lot of large bodies like the ATST or the AT-AT suppressor. And also I pulled 3 resupplies.
Okay.
So yeah, that was key to get those big units out early.
Yeah.
And then in combination with Admiral Piet, which gives them ambush, is a really nice combo.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, as I previously said, I didn't have any dead troopers. My low cost units didn't have that much of damage on them that often, but still being able to play these large bodies, which eventually do get some damage on them, in combination with Krennic himself. And Krennic comes in play quite early with only 5 resources.
True.
So yeah, and even though it only deals 2 damage, the Restore 2 is really strong, really powerful. Furthermore, I really like Del Meeko. His ability is very annoying for the opponent, and also has Restore 1. So yeah, it's quite surprised by Krennic, I would say.
Okay. So with 2 pre-releases behind us, what were your favorite cards that you pulled?
So I have these 2 cards in front of me actually. For my first pre-release, I pulled this Hyperspace Foil Waylay, which I think is very beautiful. And for my second card, which I actually played in my deck, is a Super Laser Blast Hyperspace Foil, Hyperspace, not foil, unfortunately. But yeah, also this is very beautiful, I would say.
Yeah, the art is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just impressed by the Hyperspace in general. I think that the Hyperspace Rarity is a really great choice by FFG to include these in the booster packs. And you know, 2 in every 3 packs, so they are quite often. You can pull them quite often. And you know, just pulling these feels amazing. And yeah, I cannot wait to build Hyperspace decks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for you?
Yeah, for me, I also have 2 cards in front of me. Both are actually Aggression Heroism.
Okay, there's a team.
Yeah, and the first one is I pulled at my first pre-release and also played with. It's the Hyperspace Foil Zap Aurelios. So this was a really just nice looking card in my opinion. The foiling is really beautiful. And I like that the foiling is only on the art and not on the text boxes, like I mentioned earlier. And so I do have to say that the curling is almost 0 here with, you know, low humidity. So that's a big positive. And yeah, just really nice looking card. So the second is also a Hyperspace foil, and it's the Green Squadron A-Wing. So another beautiful card, beautiful art. And again, the foiling looks amazing. Yeah. So I'm really happy with these 2. I did pull this the second pre-release. Didn't play with it, unfortunately. But just a nice looking card. So I'm actually also impressed by the card quality of these cards. I think that they are pretty similar to Pokemon cards, like the feel. And yeah, just nice product, I would say.
I agree.
definitely impressed. Also nice boxes.
Yeah.
So the second pre-release was sold out. There were actually people that wanted to attend this pre-release, but there were no kits left.
Yeah.
So that's also a good sign. And I think just in general, everyone that we talked to in the first and second pre-release, they were really enthusiastic about this game.
Yeah.
Some of them just wanted to give it a try and see what this was about, and they really liked the game.
Yeah.
I think most people were impressed by the depth of the game.
Yeah, and also by how dynamic it was. Yeah. We talked about it earlier in previous episodes that other card games can feel a bit static, where you have when your opponent is playing, you can do basically nothing. You just have to wait. And this it just goes
back and forth
constantly. So yeah.
Yeah, and there was also enough depth in the games. So a lot of tactical decisions that you have to make. And I think most people were, impressed by that.
Yeah.
And also just the game flow in general.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that wanted to continue playing this game. So that's always nice to hear. And both store owners were also really impressed by this game.
Yeah.
And fell in love with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you talk about the depth of the game, but not only the depth that is important to new players, but also it's quite easy to learn.
Yeah.
So even though there is a lot of strategy involved, it's easy to pick up and for everyone.
Yeah, there were people that haven't read the rules whatsoever before this, and they just showed up and also wanted to learn the game.
Yeah.
And I think that they all just picked it up really easy and could play the 3 rounds without major issues.
Yeah.
So 2 showcases were pulled.
Yeah.
So one in the first and the other one in the second.
Yeah.
So Boba Fett and Han Solo. And I have to say, we all knew that Boba Fett was a beautiful card, and even in person it was more beautiful. But I was really impressed by the Han Solo showcase. And again, it looks amazing online, the art of Han Solo, but in real life it just blew me away, basically. It was a really, really beautiful card in real life, and I was really impressed by the art. And I'm a big fan of the more realistic art, and the Han Solo showcase is a realistic version of Han Solo, or the art itself is a realistic. So I'm a big fan of that showcase.
Yeah, hopefully we will also pull
one today.
Yeah,
who knows? And if it's not in pre-release, hopefully in the boxes.
Yeah.
So with that, I think that we can go to our last pre-release. It's basically a release event now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shorter episode this time, but in the future, when we get the products, we will do unboxings. Yeah, and we plan also to do a box battle.
Yeah.
So we have to build a deck just with what we get out of one box and play against each other.
Yeah, a premier deck.
Yeah.
So it's a 50 card with 3 cards of each. So just a premier deck building rules.
Yeah.
With 1 booster box, and sees who builds the better deck and wins. So I'm really excited to start the real content and to get the products in our hands and start playing. And actually also record some live games for you. So definitely keep an eye out on our channel. We will post all of our links to Twitter. So follow us there also.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And hopefully see you next time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.